My name's James Olson, photographer for the Daily Planet. But everyone calls me Mr. Action. Well, actually, I call myself that. Everyone else calls me Jimmy. They say you can judge a person by the company he keeps. Well then, that must make Superman a pretty cool guy. 'Cause check it out. There he is hanging with me. But seriously, I'm Superman's pal. You have to admit, that's pretty cool. The only downside is that Supes has some pretty powerful enemies. Superman even gave me my very own signal watch. It gives off a high-frequency distress call that only Superman can hear. One click of the button, and if Supes is in earshot, he'll fly to the rescue. It goes without saying that I only use it for emergencies. Yeah, so I'm just a kid. But a kid who takes front-page photos for a major metropolitan newspaper. So how do I do it? Let's just say I've got friends in high places.
Superman! I have no time for your meddling. Be gone, or face my wrath.
Sorry, Calabac, but you're flying an unregistered vehicle in Metropolis airspace. I'm afraid I'll have to ground you.
Prattling fool! This warship is one of the deadliest in all of Apocalypse.
I don't know what you're doing here on Earth, Calabac, or what this warship of yours is capable of. But I know I'll feel a lot better when you're both out of commission.
Superman has two big weaknesses, kryptonite and magic. But if you ask me, there's a third thing that should be on that list. The new gods of Apocalypse. These guys are tough, and one of their biggest and baddest is Calabac the Cruel. Normally, the gods of Apocalypse are locked in epic struggles against the gods of New Genesis. But more often than not, they set their sights on conquering Earth. Calabac's father, the dreaded Darkseid, wants nothing more than to take over the universe. And Calabac wants nothing more than to win his father's approval. Let me get this straight. You want to know who Superman is? Superman? The single greatest superhero of all time? Have you been living in a cave or something? Come on. The Man of Steel? Last son of Krypton? The Man of Tomorrow? Does any of this ring a bell? How about this? Strange visitor from another planet with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men? Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and yada yada. Come on, say it with me. I know you know the words. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman! Whoa!
Out of the way, Olsen. This ain't no place for a kid. Can't you see we're in some kind of a war zone?
The Special Crimes Unit, or SCU, is Metropolis' first line of defense. Armed with high-tech weapons, top training, and a lot of brass. These guys aren't just cops. They're super cops. Dan Turpin is the toughest man I've ever met, period. For Inspector Turpin, guts and determination should be registered as lethal weapons. This is one guy who will never give up until the job is done. Hey, Inspector Turpin! You here with the rest of the Special Crimes Unit?
Yeah, me, Maggie, and the guys are clearing the streets so Supes can have some space to do his job.
Here he comes now.
I don't know what you're up to, Calabac, but it ends right here and right now.
This will end, Kryptonian, with you crushed and broken beneath my boots.
Should I fight Calabac, or confuse him with my super speed?
Stand still!
On me? Well, I'm right here. Nope, over here. And here. And here. You're looking a little off your game, Calabac. Here, let me help you off your feet.
Now that's a front page. Good work, Olsen.
Thanks, Chief.
And I guess some congratulations are in order for a certain Superman as well.
All in a day's work, Lois.
Lois Lane is the most daring reporter I've ever met. There's no risk she won't take in order to get that scoop. Most of us have lost track of how many times Superman's had to save her. Not that Lois couldn't get herself out of her own jams, mind you. She's married to this lovable guy, Clark Kent, the Daily Planet's other star reporter. Even though Clark's from a whole nother world, an out-of-the-way place called Smallville, Kansas, he can work a big city like Metropolis like nobody's business.
Okay, team, listen up. There's a lot of holes in today's story, and it's going to be up to you to fill them up. We know Calabac was getting ready to launch an attack on Metropolis. But why? What was he after? Jimmy, I want you to head down to SCU headquarters and get some shots of Calabac while they try to get some answers out of him.
You got it, Chief.
Lois, Clark, I want you to check in with Professor Hamilton. Calabac's warship had some strange device attached to it. The city's contracted the professor to find out exactly what it does and what it's for.
We're on it, Perry.
You can count on us.
Miss Lane, Mr. Kent, come in. You're just in time.
Professor Emil Hamilton is a brilliant, if not eccentric, scientist. His strange way of thinking and his expertise have been a great help to Superman and Metropolis over the years.
Isn't this device amazing? The technology of these new gods is astounding. It's simply light years ahead of anything we have here on Earth.
And like everything else from Apocalypse, probably 1 billion times as deadly.
Agreed. From what I can figure out, this globe is some sort of an energy siphon.
What kind of energy does it collect, Professor?
I'm not sure, Miss Lane. I'm trying to access its control panel in order to find that out. Oh my, what am I... Hamilton!
Professor? Clark, is he...
I don't know, Lois. This is very strange. According to my microscopic vision, it's not just Hamilton that's inert, but even the bacteria on his body has frozen in place. It's as if his entire body has gone into some kind of lifeless stasis.
What should we do? Can you remember what buttons he pushed? Maybe there's some way we can reverse the process.
I'm not sure. Technology from Apocalypse is beyond me. Dr. Faulkner at Star Labs is an expert in bioenergy fields and as brilliant a scientist in her own right. Maybe she can help. Keep an eye on Hamilton, Lois. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Hurry.
All right, Calabac. Spill it. What's the plan this time?
I have nothing to say to you, Earth dogs. Release me at once.
Maggie, just leave me alone with this Krog. I'll find out what he's after.
Fools! You're all fools! When Darkseid's discovered that I failed my mission, he'll send others to complete my task. And when that happens... release me! I can't be here when that's... It's too late. They're here!
Thanks for putting up with this inconvenience, Doctor. But I assure you this is a dire emergency.
As always, Superman, I'll do whatever I can to help. Oh my! What are those?
They're boom tubes, Doctor. Dimensional doorways from Apocalypse. And they can only mean one thing. Trouble. I don't know what you're up to, Calabac, but it ends right here and right now.
This will end, Kryptonian, with you crushed and broken beneath my boots.
Should I fight Calabac, or confuse him with my super speed?
alien Earth has to offer? Superman indeed. Earth dogs, look at your Superman now.
SCU, fall in. Superman's out of it. It's up to us now. Attack formation Gamma. Open fire!
Inspector Maggie Sawyer heads up the SCU. She's always right out there in the field, coordinating the SCU as they take on some of the worst supervillains Metropolis has to offer. Inspector Turpin?
Lousy freak, bringing your troubles to my city, wrecking my town. Well, not on my watch. You are going down, you ugly pug. And that's all she wrote.
This is a real grabber, people. Always good to remind the people in the city that not every hero wears a cape.
The Daily Planet is my home away from home, and these guys are my second family. Perry White's the greatest boss a guy could have. As the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet, he's always ready to teach you the ropes, and never ready to cut you any slack. For Mr. White, integrity isn't just a watchword, it's a way of life.
Good work, Olsen.
Thanks, Chief.
Clark, I hope you're not beating yourself up over this. Superman can't win them all.
I know, Lois. I'm just glad the SCU was there to step in. Perry's right. They are the real heroes of Metropolis.
Okay, team, listen up.
I'm trying to access its control panel in order to find that out. Oh my, what am I...
Hamilton!
Professor? Clark, is he...
I don't know, Lois. This is very strange. According to my microscopic vision, it's not just Hamilton that's inert, but even the bacteria on his body has frozen in place. It's as if his entire body has gone into some kind of lifeless stasis.
What should we do? Can you remember what buttons he pushed? Maybe there's some way we can reverse the process.
I'm not sure. Technology from Apocalypse is beyond me. Dr. Faulkner at Star Labs is an expert in bioenergy fields and as brilliant a scientist in her own right. Maybe she can help. Here's hoping this works.